I've tried to record this so many times and I just keep rambling. So I just got out of Madam Web. I wanted to record my thoughts on the movie. It was fucking terrible. It was really bad. I laughed a lot at it. So it starts off in the Amazon where her mother was researching spiders just before she died, and she's there with the villain, and she's like, oh, I gotta find the spider in my 9th month of pregnancy, because they reveal later that the baby would have died if she didn't get the spider venom bite, because it has healing properties, because they have magic spiders in the Amazon that can turn you into Spider-Man. So that's what the villain's there looking for. And then they flash forward to the future. Dakota Johnson is playing Cassandra Webb, and she is great. Okay, so one thing I gotta say about the beginning part, though, is that the camera work in this movie is fucking terrible, and it stays that way throughout the whole thing. It's, like, so blurry whenever there's action, and, like, or, like, the camera's, like, sweeping around really fast. But in the beginning of the movie, it has, like, this specific problem, which I don't know if it was them trying to go for, like, a documentary style, but they kept just, like, zooming in and out, and it was very, like, abrupt, and it was so bizarre. It looked so bad. Like, it just looked really, really bad. And it was only in that scene in the movie, like, to that extent. And then, like, it shows up once or twice later in the movie, and when it does, it also looks really bad. They just, like, zoom in really quick. And it's so fucking bad. It's, like, so abrupt, so, like, just does not work. The other thing is, yeah, so they flash forward to the future, and Dakota Johnson is, like, a EMT, and she is going around, and she has, like, 3 weird encounters with girls that she doesn't recognize, really, and she doesn't get anything from it, really. But then later on, she almost dies, and she has a near-death experience where she sees her life in, like, this fucking web of fate, and she sees the spider people, and they give her the power to see the future. So, she's, like, seeing the future, and like, she's, like, weirded out by it at first. It's like a Final Destination movie kind of thing. Like, I've seen that comparison a lot, where it's like a Final Destination movie. She's, like, seeing the future, and then, like, her boss dies, but later on she's like, oh, I couldn't have done anything about that. But then she sees a bird die, but then she saves the bird, and then she sees a vision. And then later on, she goes on a train, and all the 3 girls that she met earlier are there, and they get attacked by fucking Venom Spider-Man. Like, he's just Spider-Man in a black suit, but he's evil, and he has venom powers. Like, not like symbiote venom, but he has, like he can inject you with venom. And so they, like, run away, and she, like, kidnaps the girls, and then she realizes, like, oh, he has the spider powers, and she realizes that that's what she kind of has too, while she's, like, in the process of protecting these girls. And the girls are all so terrible, and they keep doing callbacks. Like, the acting is, like, roundly terrible. I don't remember if I said this already, but they have Uncle Ben in the movie. He works with Dakota Johnson, and he's played by that guy from Parks and Rec, with like the hair that's kind of like, I don't remember how to describe him. I think his name's Adam. He's in Krampus too. But yeah, he's fucking terrible. Everybody's terrible. Dakota Johnson has, like, some kind of funny lines that are, like, I thought were genuinely funny. But otherwise, the comedy is all terrible. The actors that play the little girls are terrible. They have Aunt May, or no, they have Ben's sister in the movie, and she's pregnant. And there's a scene where they're at her baby shower, and they're doing a baby name guessing game, and everybody's like, oh, I think it's gonna be Richard Jr., because her husband's Richard. And some other names, and then fucking it gets to Dakota Johnson, it gets to Miss Webb, and they ask her, and she's going to say it. She says, "Put," and then a balloon pops, and it interrupts her from saying that, and she gets spooked. Let's see. The action's pretty bad. It's just bad. It's just like, oh, you see Ezekiel Sims killing a girl, and then she goes and prevents it, because it's like Final Destination with no death, and like no actual death. Like she sees them die in the vision, and then she goes and saves them. Which, I mean, I guess they shouldn't kill the children in the movie, but still very weird. And I guess there is death, because at the end he like blows up a police helicopter, and he like fucking kills a woman. Like, he kills a couple people, but it's almost always off screen. Like, he poisons one woman, and then you don't see her die, you just know she's poisoned. They established some dumb rule with the poison too, where it's like, yeah, once the poison reaches your lips, you die. Like, he injects it in your arm, and he's like, when it reaches your lips, you die. And I think they only did that because later in the movie, they play the song Toxic, and they're like, oh my god, I love Britney Spears so much. This song is gonna be so big, because it takes place in like 2003. And I think that they established that rule just so that they could have the line about Toxic be the line from Toxic, about the taste of your lips. She hears that, and that's how she knows that when the toxin reaches your lips, that's when you die. But he establishes it earlier in the movie. This movie feels very like screen tested to death. Like, again, they just like reestablish stuff so frequently, it feels like I'm watching an episode of Naruto. Yeah, so I think that's my thoughts. Again, it was pretty bad. The villain at the end dies from a Pepsi sign falling on him. Like, they're at a fireworks factory that's also a Pepsi factory, and they're like throwing road flares into crates of fireworks, and then she's like instructing all the kids how to dodge them in like the final action scene, and then it blows up a Pepsi sign, and it kills fucking Ezekiel Sims, I think his name is. I don't even remember. He was fucking terrible. He was so bad. The actor they got to play the villain, the actor they got to play her mom was bad. The actor that they got to play Mary was bad. That's Peter Parker's mother. So yeah, that's my full thoughts. Nothing else to say. If you guys go see it, I hope you enjoy it.